I want my salary to cross 40 lakhs per annum. 40 lakhs, status symbol. Remember? How many of you agree to that? A fat salary that you are proud of to tell to your relatives, that your friends, in front of your friends, your family is proud, your parents are proud of. How many of you agree to that? 40 lakhs, I want to cross that. But then my mentor told, if you want to get 40 lakhs, you need to become that person that the company thinks that he is actually worthy than 40 lakhs, that they will give you 40 lakhs. Show me with a rise of hand. If the company thinks that you are so valuable, it will compensate you. These kind of bulb on movements. And then once we venture into that journey of becoming that person to get that much amount of salary, the guidance, these are what career coaches actually help people with. However, with the times that are changing, with the technology that is increasing by leaps and bounds, everything is being tried to be automated. Machines are replacing so many jobs that are else or otherwise done by humans. You need to have, apart from someone you can lean when you have real trouble, someone who can solve low hanging problems. Suddenly you are at a place wherein some immediate meeting is coming in, and you have this complete information what you have to digest to speak in that meeting. You don't need a career coach. You need something which will summarize for you. I know you what you people are thinking. Okay, Vamsi, we got you. You don't have to give so much of context. You are talking about AI. Yes. But today I want to start before going to that wonderful entity called artificial intelligence. I want to set certain ground rules, or you can think some thought process or some kind of warnings, anything you take. But these two things is what I want you to remember as a statement in your mind or as a picture, because I would be actually showing pictures so that you remember before you venture into using AI and before doing anything in your life as far as your career is concerned. Personal life was do what you want to do and be happy, because I am doing what I want to do and I'm very happy. So let's get straight into this aspect of your career coach in your pocket. For most of the people, it is actually like Ritik Roshan, the sixth finger, which always disturbs us and which distracts us. However, it can be put into very good use. So let me start sharing the screen and tell you about this. Quickly, I will jump over the slide. Yes. This is a concept that many of you might have already known, some may be unaware. And this is called the golden circle. You ask any person who you regard as an example figure, the CEOs of the company, the people who bring change in the world, maybe spiritual gurus, anyone, they all start with the inner core of why. Now, here is the thing. Okay, today my brother came and I asked him, what do you do in your job? He looked at me and said, okay, what is that exact question? I told, no, what do you do in your job on a day-to-day basis? He told, I do this 1, 2, 3, 4, without even blinking his eye. Then I asked him, like, how do you do it? Then I have a team, then this, that, this process, that process, and all those things. Then I asked my favorite question, which I got asked by my mentor at some point of time. Why is that you are doing what you are doing? Out of 100 people on the face of this earth, 100 to 100 people will ask, what are you doing? A doctor will say, I do surgery. A lawyer will say, I do law. And a chef will say, I cook. Rarely there are few people who are having so much of clarity to say why they are doing what they are doing. And in front of you, I pat myself because I am one among them, because I at least have that 80% of why questions already answered for me. So this is what, before you venture into your career or clicking that or pressing that submit button after uploading your resume, ask yourself, why is that I am applying for this job? Get the real why. Maybe close the doors, take time for yourself. It will not be so easy. Trust me, it will not be a smooth journey. You have to face so many lot of rejections, like in the sense you have to reject so many things, like a multiple choice question. And finally, you will almost nearly get to this question being answered for yourself. Like, why is that you are doing something that you are doing? On that day, if you remember me, and if you are my LinkedIn connection or something, call me for a treat if you are in Bangalore. Because that would be the day where your what and how also will be very, very easy. Now, with this context, I want to shift the gears and bring to something that we are going to use, ChatGPT. Before using ChatGPT, I want you to remember this figure. So we already have this figure. And I want to help with a simple example. The golden circle. Somebody wants to write a book. So the first question, why do you want to write a book? Oh, I want to share my story. The second why, I want to inspire people. Maybe for all the people there who say that, okay, I understand, Vamsi, you're talking about that 5 why and all those things. Maybe you don't have to travel that 5 why journey. The second why, the third why, maybe the fourth why will actually give you the answer. Now, next, let us come to this very important picture. Take a screenshot before you tomorrow or after this session. If you are using ChatGPT, this is what I want you to understand. ChatGPT, as I said, it has swallowed libraries. The whole Library of Congress that states of America is so proud of, it has swallowed all the things. It knows about those kind of dark matter. It knows about genetics. It knows about something that you haven't even heard of. Study of insects, study of whales, study of oceans, I don't know what all. And it also knows disciplines. Oh, management, I know it. Law, I know it. Intellectual property laws and all those things, I know it. Chemistry, I know it. Physics, mathematics, everything it knows. Subject and also domain, aeronautical, maybe some surgery stuff, which is all public domain information. It knows most of the things. But it does not know one thing. It doesn't know the context under which you are asking the question. You jump onto ChatGPT and you say that, hey, ChatGPT, I'm having cold. Give me some remedies. If you are not telling that you are southern part of Bharat and you are in Karnataka and it is raining so heavily and you have at your disposal ginger, cardamom and some other things, it cannot give you a recipe. Top of the triangle is self, which is your need, your specific need, your context and your need. You are having cold there. Or let me say, I am having cold and I have only these ingredients. I need to tell to ChatGPT that I have these things. Now go. Look at your knowledge and tell me what can be done. In fact, I challenge you now to go to ChatGPT after some time and give certain ingredients and ask it to prepare or give you a recipe. Let me tell you, it will perfectly give you a recipe. If you tell that I am from this country, this is what is the protein intake I want, these are the ingredients that I have, this is what is available. In fact, you don't have to tell it. It knows certain part of the country what is easily available and it can actually give you a wonderful recipe. However, you need to tell these minimum essential things, that your context and your self, which is your unique problem. Hope I have made things clear. You have a very wonderful framework of golden circle, which Simon Sinek says to understand before you do anything. Now you also have that understanding of what is the limitation of this wonderful entity that is going to revolutionize the world. And tomorrow when you become old and your granddaughter or grandson comes and sits in your lap, you will say this. Like I remember one Kannada movie, my favorite movie that I watch, I don't know how many times I have watched, Avane Sriman Narayana, in which he says that there is something before my entry and there was something before my entry and after my entry. So you will say there is something that has changed so drastically after AI and there was something which was done in a different manner before AI. I'm pretty much sure people are already making these kind of statements. You will definitely make it. So now let us shift the gears and understand how this entity in your mobile phone. Yesterday you have seen that in the English session, how it can become your English tutor. Now it is now becoming your career coach. How many of you opened the PDF that was shared in the group and at least glanced the question at least once? Perfect. Now here is the thing. There are two ways. One is you give lot of context, very clear context, and you ask it a very precise question. So what you see there is the segmented part, the segmentation in the sense, what is the area that you want to ask the question in, the question, and the precise input that you are giving from your side, which automatically becomes the context. However, when you want it to take a unique approach based on its existing knowledge, you need to provide it, as you all know, a very perfectly curated prompt. How many of you heard about something called as prompt engineering? Show with a raise of hand. Now my mentor says, oh, Vamsi, I don't like it to be called as prompt engineering because the moment somebody hears engineering, they get pissed off. Arey, kuch to karna hai. Is it programming? I am not good at coding. I don't know technical stuff and all those things. Everybody uses Windows, but you ask them to install OS, they run away from the computer. It's all like that. So let us now shift our perspective and treat AI as something with which you will do conversations. Here, in this particular session, it's a conversation from my side that is happening. In fact, it is not a conversation that I'm just speaking, but in ChatGPT, when you use mobile phone or even otherwise, it's a two-way communication. So think always like that. A better improvement over prompt engineering, where the effect of prompt engineering doesn't need to be so much known to people, or they don't have to be an expert prompt engineers. People have come up with something called as custom GPTs. Today, I am going to share with you one document which contains the link for that custom GPT. I am not reinventing the wheel. I don't want to claim myself that I know everything and I can do stuff for you. No, I just want to be smart enough to let you know that there is already certain custom GPT done for you and which is available in GPTs. And for that, maybe you have to take your pro account. Then you go to explore GPTs and you will see this GPT. So before I show GPT, so let us quickly understand how your career trajectory or the path will be segmented. So 13 mandatory steps. And these 13 steps have been divided into certain categories. First one is self-assessment and career exploration. If you see, there are two questions that are pertaining to those things in the questionnaire. This is where I want you to go to a place where nobody disturbs you and ask yourself, what is that thing that I want to do? And more importantly, why is that I want to do? Then the career exploration comes with respect to your skill sets. When you understand, when it dawns upon you that, okay, this is what I want to do, trust me, each one of us will become realistically real that these are my skills. I do not want to claim that I am so much an expert in this thing, and this is what I am very, very good at. कि कोई मेरा हाथ पकड़ नहीं पाएगा, and I will get the things done. This is what, if you are part of our CDP program or CGM, we call it identification of the differentiator. Then the next thing is very simple. You understand the gap analysis and skill development. There is this lady who is a very famous career coach in US, and she always says this thing. Every job description is an advertisement. Treat it as an advertisement. Now in advertisement, what does the person do? Vicks golilo, kich kich dur karo. Come on. If my cold is so chronic, I keep on munching Vicks, it doesn't go away. If it is a viral infection, I need to go to doctor. Am I right? So the promise of Vicks that it can instantly solve something is not 100% true. Why am I saying this? The job description mentions so many things. And if you really see a job description and you see that, boss, if I know so much, I will start my own company. So what is needed is that you are 60% okay with that. People are actually happy and they will recruit you. I'm not saying anything new. Most of you are managers, most of you have team members, and you know that nobody comes with 100% package. You put everyone in a training program where they understand the process, project, code, whatsoever. So your gap analysis is to only understand, aligning with your differentiator, what is the gap that is existing, and if anything that is needed, realistically go and do certain skill development. And that's where this is very important. The second stage is what is gap analysis and skill development. And let me tell you, all these phases can be very well addressed by ChatGPT. Now you build a portfolio, you do a building a portfolio, and you do resume optimization. If you have heard of something called as Substack, Substack is a platform like Medium where people write good articles. Like all the people who want to experiment with their writing skills and they really want to improve and make money out of writing. Once upon a time, they were on Medium. It's not that they are not there on Medium. They also are there on Substack. You can think of these two platforms as some blog post that you are writing, but it is not your blog, but it's someone's. There is a I should say in Substack, you'd subscribe to one author, and she calls it as portfolio career. And it's very clear that she says that you in your whole experience for an organization is nothing but certain set of projects, period. How many of you agree to that? For your organization, you are nothing more than a set of skills that you have acquired during doing certain kinds of projects. Yes or no? That's what she says. You build your portfolio. You go to certain photographer, that photographer has all the photos. Why such a big example? You enter into any photo studio, you will see all the photos taken by that person displayed. Once you understand the skills and once you understand what is the portfolio that you have to build, use it and optimize your resume. My favorite, go to LinkedIn and start creating your network, because your network is your net worth. Today alone, morning, I have dedicated myself half an hour. I have put my phone on a Zen mode. I opened the laptop and I was continuously engaging on someone's post. Today alone, 7 people started following me, out of which 4 people, when I have sent connection request, they accepted. And who are these people? These are the people that I really want them to be in my network. They are very, very big creators. And why is that only in the afternoon? Why is it only in the morning? Because that is the time that they put the post, and within the first second, So first minute or second minute, I get a notification on LinkedIn. I instantly go and comment on their content. And they follow me. I say thanks for following and I send a connection request and then it forms. You can also do that. This is not rocket science, only consistency. Finally, your career coach will help you with your interview preparation. Core skills, we all know. For a programmer, it's programming. For someone, for finance person, it is something. For banking, it is something. But there is going to be definitely that core interview with all those scenarios. For people who are applying for leadership positions, you have an additional behavior round, which is obvious for even technical people also, but not so intense. ChatGPT covers. In fact, this custom GPT covers everything. Finally, startup strategy. Situation, task, action, result. And in fact, there is this person by name, I can give the detail at some point of time, but because I'm not recollecting the real name, and he calls it star story stack. What does he mean by that? You have in your career, in your regular life, as part of your work, so many things happening around you. You are like that person in a circus who is juggling with glass balls. And there are occasions in your life, in your project, where certain glass ball slipped your hand, it fell on the floor. Maybe there was certain part of the ball got chipped off, or it completely became powder. You have all those stories. Convert them into something called as star story stack. Have that 15 or 16 stories, because with your 10 plus years experience, or even I would say 6 to 7 years experience, we have enough raw material to convert them into those stories. Depending on the project, depending on the kind of question, depending on the context, pick up a story and start speaking around it or about it. This he calls, and this, in fact, he claims that one of his mentees who was, a US mentee who was struggling with a salary of just $60,000 per annum, actually got a job of $150,000 per annum with only using this star story stack. With this thing done, we are now prepared to look at the GPT. Yeah, mock interview. The same GPT can become your interviewer and can do a mock interview for you. Core interviews, behavior interviews, everything sorted. And possibly when you remember something, if after a real interview, you know something that has happened, you can feed it and you can ask for feedback. Or even after mock interview, you can ask ChatGPT to ask and to reply back like, how did I do? And you get the real-time feedback. Now is the prompt time. Why 3 simple steps? Let me share the screen and show you that. So this is the custom GPT, and it's called interview and resume /CV-job and career coach. Not done by me. It's already available in the store. If you explore GPTs and just go to it, you will get it. However, I have created this document which contains the link to these custom GPTs. Look at the input, and this is a mock input. Do not consider this input as anything, because it is too trivial to really say anything about it. However, in the ChatGPT prompt, or the space where you need to give the message in that custom GPT, give certain input and ask these questions. It will try to tell you based on the input that you have given. Remember the self-assessment and other things. This boils down to that. So the self-assessment is all about answering your why, which is very, very important. So you have a reason to ask this question to it, and it responds with that. So let us see one by one. Self-assessment, career exploration, gap analysis. You are the expert. You know what is the kind of gap that is existing between the place that you are at and the place that you want to go. So do that gap analysis. Ask it what are the skills that are to be developed. Now, for people who are having pro account, ChatGPT, I think even for free account also, ChatGPT enable the search option. So enable the search option and ask it to go deeper and do a search and really tell it what are the skills to be developed to go and become, let us say, somebody who is a Power BI expert or somebody who is some SAP expert, SAP expert, and all those things. Build your portfolio, resume. The next simple thing is to ask ChatGPT to summarize all the information and provide you a comprehensive report of your current career situation. Consider this like this. You went to a doctor, you went to a doctor with an ailment. The doctor tried to examine you in all the possible manners and was unable to diagnose what is the root cause of the problem. He or she is only speculating. The obvious thing that they will do is, please go ahead and get your blood test done. You are getting your career blood test done. Okay. Now write it on the forearm. You write it on your forearm, because whenever you are typing, I want you to see this. And what is that? Your inputs cannot be substandard. So write it on your palm, on top of your thing. It's like no crappy input, so that when your fingers are dancing on the keyboard, they type the words and the things which are really needed, and you give the real input about yourself, starting from your why till the questions that you are answering in the mock interview, and accept everything with a pinch of salt. Why? There are certain reasons why I am saying this. Let us say for some part of the question, your answer is not up to the mark. Then ChatGPT will try to please you. In that process, it will do something called as hallucination. How many of you heard about this word called hallucination? Oh, this is not an hallucination of a boy looking at a girl, or a girl looking at a boy. It's a language model becoming hallucinated and trying to help you. It doesn't want to make you sad, but it generates certain output which is not at all good. So here is something that I want to understand. Keep AI at the center. There is certain work that you need to do, lot of work that you need to give as a context as your input. Now, the bigger is the clarity with which you give this input and AI comes, the lesser is the effort that you need to do in terms of correcting the output. Now flip the thing. AI is always in the middle. Now you give crappy input or substandard input and you said that, "Arey yaar, kitna type karenge?" Then it will take only that. Now you need to correct so much from its output. Which is the one that you want? As a sane person, I would say it is better to take all the effort beforehand and give it to ChatGPT and get something where I just have to do 2 or 3 lines of change, rather than reach a stage wherein the output is so substandard that at the end of the day, when I see that I have almost rewritten the whole thing that ChatGPT has given. You are wasting your time and your effort. So remember these things, no crappy input. If you do this, so the second sheet also will be provided to you in the Facebook. So there are certain rules, certain rules, right? Red light, then you stop, green, then you go. So if I share the screen and I'll see that instantly people will be dropping down. So prompt time, and all these things. Give your feedback and let us know what you want when you go to that Facebook. What are the other kind of topics that you actually need? And why is this I'm saying? Guys, we understand that you are in a job and you are continuously trying to do best in your job. We have taken on our shoulders our responsibility, my big why, my big why, that help you people. When you come up with, okay, how about this kind of topic? Trust me, we will go to any extent to help you in that area as a CD talk or as a CDP session. We are just waiting for you to open your mouth and speak what you want. Fair enough. On that note, I say happy day for you and happy Wednesday tomorrow. See you again on Thursday. There is no session tomorrow. Go to the Facebook, whatever post you see on Career Dwar, kindly repost it. Let us take efforts that it reaches to so many other people that they get benefited. On that note, Jai Hind.